Egypt's slogan should be, leave your camera at home, but bring your money. They don't want you to shoot here. That's very obvious, very clear.
Egypt. It's one of the worst countries in the world for filmmakers. I wouldn't suggest it for tourists either. Within hours of arriving in Cairo, my team and I were interrogated and searched. And finally, all of our equipment was confiscated.
It's very dehumanizing at this point because they're going through my personal items, picking stuff up, or telling me to pick stuff up and then saying, what is this? It's a back roller. Why do you need this? Why do I need this? How about go fuck yourself?
All this for the crime of wanting to film food in Egypt with a valid shooting permit. Now, with only iPhones in hand, the show must go on.
We're gonna go into the back and see what few people have seen before. Let's go.
We're hitting the streets of Cairo in search of any food vendors who will have us.
This is where the action really happens. So many raw ingredients is beautiful.
But even this low-profile shooting won't be enough to evade this country's overzealous, militaristic police force.
Right now, the van is at a police station. They've gone through the shots on my phone. We don't know what's gonna happen next. It's possible they'll try to delete the footage.
So what did I film that was so egregious the police demanded I delete it? I'll show you right after breakfast. As the first rays of light pierce through the trees and old dust-caked buildings of Cairo, a small window of peace gradually fades away, replaced by the hustle and bustle of city life. Cars, motorbikes, bicycles, and the occasional horse or donkey populate the streets. Crowds are massive and move like schools of fish with a beautiful chaos like no place I've seen before. Let me be clear, I like this city. It has character. On camera, it looks amazing. However, I don't like and I don't respect the people who run it. Day 1, Location 1. Our conniving and mostly useless local producer has brought us here. A small street-side eatery on a quiet road. Low traffic means a lower chance of suspicious police or quickly forming mobs. Sounds great, but what's on the menu?
We are in the kitchen of our first location, and I'm excited because I don't know what people in Egypt eat for breakfast, but right now I'm getting a little bit of a hint. Behind me, he is frying French fries, and he just made falafel too. The falafel here is made with fava beans and then fried until they look like little hockey pucks. For now, I'm gonna go into the serving area where they have so much food, and I'm gonna decide what we're gonna eat officially for breakfast today. Let's go.
This is SAAD Al-Harami, a restaurant named after its owner. Mr. SAAD specializes in dishes that use fava beans. Fava beans are a common breakfast here in Cairo. With over 40 years of experience, SAAD can mix and match flavors in over 50 ways.
Hello, sir. Good morning. He's really busy right now. Here he has about 15 different dishes and tons of flavor combinations. So people come, they step up, they order, and then he's kind of the main guy making it happen. Someone just ordered a chip sandwich. Another chip sandwich? I should get one of those. Oh, so now he's not busy. Oh, hey. We connected after all. Oh my God, see, it just takes persistence. So right now he's gonna make me a chip sandwich. He's got the soft bread here, puts in the chips, some salt, and then this is a white sauce. I'm not sure what that is yet. He puts in some salad, some greens, carrots, a little bit of cabbage in there. Can this be the plate, please? Yes. Yes. And he won't give it to me at all. I promise I'll pay. Crunchy. There's something delectable about putting a soft carbohydrate with a crunchy chips. I don't know if you guys were poor like me, but when I grew up, I would just make a potato chip sandwich with ketchup or with butter. And so it takes me back to those days, to the days of my impoverished youth. Most of the flavor is coming from the salt he added and the tahini. Tahini's kind of new for me. I don't know if I've had that before.
Tahini. It's an Arabic condiment made from toasted ground whole sesame seeds, made into a paste. Here, you'll see it join most meals.
The tahini, it's salty, a bit of sweet sourness. I don't know, I need to try that more to kind of pin it down. The bread is excellent, it's soft, it's chewy. It's a great little treat before you eat your actual breakfast, which we're gonna do next. Aside from chip sandwiches, they have something called FUL. The FUL is something that is eaten commonly for breakfast here all throughout the city of Cairo. And what it is, it's fava beans.
Fava beans are one of the oldest cultivated plants with evidence of their incorporation into Egyptian diets dating back to at least 6000 BC. Now in present day, they're a staple in Egypt, used in dishes like FUL and falafel. The FUL, a soupy dish made with stewed fava beans, salt and pepper, corn oil, tahini, and chili sauce.
It kind of looks like refried beans in a way, but it probably tastes different because it has spices in there too.
Falafel, a bean cake made with fava beans, spices, garlic, and herbs. Roll it into balls and deep fry.
This is kind of a typical Egyptian breakfast, something you might expect to see in the morning here in Cairo, and it's beautiful. There's a huge selection. People probably wouldn't order this many things, but I have. Let's take a look at these. I mentioned French fries for breakfast. I can't say that this is rare. I'm looking around, I see almost everybody here has ordered the French fries. Not bad. Here, this is falafel. I'm gonna break that open. Oh, very nice. Looking extra crispy, fried, and delicious. As far as I know, it's not meant to be eaten with anything. I'm just gonna try it plain like this. Let's go for it. Super crunchy and pretty airy too. Falafel's not always my favorite. Sometimes I find falafel can be really dry. But here, this is one of my top falafels I've ever had. I think because they're using a different type of bean, it's much more airy and light, and it's not just like a thick, big chunk of fried stuff. The main reason I came here is for this. This is called FUL, and this is a very common breakfast that you'll see in Cairo. You can't really eat it with your hand. It's not really a spoon provided. You kind of lap it up with the bread right here. This bread is super famous here in Cairo. It's called Egyptian bread, and I want to go right now to see how it's made. And then we get teleported. Behind me now, an Egyptian bread bakery. You can see from the front the fresh bread coming out, people buying it over here. But we're gonna go into the back and see what few people have seen before. Let's go. Here, it's a very tight fit. It's enough space for the ingredients and the oven. That's basically all that's here. In the back room, you can see they're making the flour, they're making the dough.
Made with a simple recipe, this is the backbone of Egyptian cuisine. Hearty, thick, gluten-rich, round, and flat. It's consumed with almost all Egyptian meals, eaten fresh daily. Street-side bakeries like this are found on every block, with delivery men nimbly balancing racks of fresh bread on their heads.
Way in the back room, tucked away from the daylight, you see where the process begins. He's already made the dough, and then he portions it into these perfect little balls, and it goes on top of this powder. This powder is like a wheat flour that's been baked. Its only purpose is to make the dough not stick to the sheet. And look at how he moves. Each of these big old pieces of wood gets about 15 to 20 on there. Now this is gonna hang out here in this room for about 20 minutes to an hour. During that time, it's gonna flatten out naturally, and then it's gonna be ready to go into the oven. That's the next step. But here, I just wanna appreciate the skill. I mean, look at this. It's like an optical illusion. How is he doing it? Nice, thank you. Boom, boom. We are now at the roasting station. So this is where it's gonna go from dough to something beautiful. He's gently peeling it off of this dust. It's like a wheat dust that everything rests on. And the way he flips it in his hand, it kind of helps expand the dough, and then that gets plopped onto here. This is a conveyor belt. It's super hot. Hundreds of degrees. You can hear the fire underneath heating it up. So they bake hundreds of these at a time, load them up on the conveyor belt, and that just moves and moves continuously. And on the other end, let me tell you, my habibi, that is magical. The bread is completely done, and they lay it out here. So people are coming every minute, every second, ordering big bags of this bread. And sometimes you see people, they'll grab these big pallets of bread, put it on their head, and they'll even ride a bike while carrying the bread and delivering it to different restaurants or different families. They're bringing a fresh one here right now. Oh, yes, yes, look at this. Oh, it is like a choo-choo train. It's full of steam. It's hot. It's toasty on the top. You can see the different textures. The bottom texture has been affected by sitting in that wheat dust. It's a bit rough and coarse. And then on this side, of course, you can see how it's been toasted by the flame. That is beautiful, and it's so hot. Oh, it's so delicious. It's warm, it's stretchy, it's soft, it's a little bit toasty since it's so fresh.
This bread plays a huge part in Egyptian life, not only incorporating calorie-dense carbohydrates into the local diet for thousands of years, but it can also be used as a utensil. Pick up food, scoop up some sauce, or wrap it around anything you like.
So that's how you make Egyptian bread. So I'm gonna break off a piece. I'm gonna dip it in the food. I wanna really mix the contents, mainly that bean, but there's other flavor enhancers in here too. There's chili powder, tons of tahini. Let's try it out. It's got a lot of flavor. I mean, it's really starchy from the bean. That's the main thing I noticed. The tahini is very unique because it almost acts like a yogurt, the way it's mixed with different dishes, but it's not dairy at all. It's crushed sesame seed that have been pureed down into this thick sauce. I'm feeling it. Not super bold flavors, but it's hearty, it's savory, and it kind of gives you a lot of energy for starting your day. The last thing I want to try is this right here. So this is the one called mish.
Mish is a traditional and pungent Egyptian dish made by fermenting salty cheese for several months or even years.
That is intense. Super salty, kind of pungent, and then the tomatoes offer some relief because it's just so powerful. It almost has a fermented quality to it, but I like it. It seems like a good food to mix and match with everything else. You're getting some new flavors, and then you can move back over to the full. So this is it. A beautiful way to start your day. A ton of foods here, and actually all of this for under $5. You can't do much better than that. So that's breakfast. We have a lot more food to see today. Let's go. We are on our way to our next location, but first I saw a gentleman making street food. I like his style. He's a hustler. He drove here on his motorcycle. He brought all these ingredients and he's making sandwiches. And this reminds me of these long, thin banh mi's they have in Vietnam. So right here you see a long, thin baguette bread. So he just takes the egg, he cuts it into slices, he puts salt, pepper, and then he puts something they call here turkey cheese. The cost is about under $1. I'm gonna, I don't feel weird eating long objects like this on the internet. I don't want you guys to Photoshop anything in my hand. Hold on, I'm just gonna block your view. Is this the best thing in the world? No. It's cheap, it's quick, it's easy, it tastes good. There's soft bread here, and there's cheese. Oh, the cheese is very good. The cheese has a very sharp, almost delightfully stinky smell to it. What I like most is just the story of what's going on here. More than anything else, I like people who hustle and who work their ass off. That's what he's doing here. Sir, hello? Oh, I'm shaking with the wrong head.
Located in the heart of downtown Cairo's hectic car mechanics district, our next treat is inside here, a local hotspot offering one of Egypt's national dishes. People don't just line up for the flavors, but to take in the gravity-defying display.
Welcome to one of the busiest street food locations in all of Cairo. This place is wild, it's mad, it's very busy. Sorry, am I in your way? See? You see what I'm saying? Let me do a spin move right here. Boom, we're good. Behind me, they're making a food called Kosheri. They have an assembly line full of gentlemen who are one by one adding ingredients that add up to this really famous dish. I'm gonna go back there now and maybe get kicked out. I didn't ask permission. Let's go.
Kosheri, a type of mixed rice dish, originated during the mid-19th century. This dish combines Italian and Arab culinary elements.
Excuse me. Thank you. As you move down, you see this is where the action really happens. So many raw ingredients is beautiful. So they have the rice, they have pasta, two different types of pasta. There's a spaghetti and kind of like a cut up elbow noodle. Then there's some meat, and right here, this is my favorite part, the fried onions. He flips it in, and he really gives it some style. Can we see it? Boom, there it is. Flip, flip, flip. I gotta say, his accuracy is not 100%. About half of the fried onions are actually getting into the container, but it's a great show. And all the people, they're looking up at us here. They can't see all the onions being chopped on the floor. After the onions, it gets the tomatoes, it gets the chickpeas, but that's just if you're getting it for takeout. If you're eating here like I am, they build the rest of the dish at your table. Let's go see what that looks like now. All right, all right. Everything's separated right now. On the sauce, they put salt and pepper, a little bit of vinegar, something spicy. Oh, yes. Squeeze of lime or lemon. And then they put that on top of the feast right here. That looks incredible. Look at this. I'm no expert, but when you come to places like this, you have to look around and see what other people are doing. And I see that no one just eats it from the top to bottom. They mix it all up and they get it all layered. So all the flavors are in each bite. I'm gonna grab a big spoonful. That looks beautiful. Wow, it's like a spaghetti. So it's like a spaghetti, but then you have the fried onions, which adds an interesting dimension of savoriness. And then you got chickpeas in there. They're almost soggy, but it adds a very different texture to everything. There is some meat on here, but it's not super easy to taste amongst everything else. A lot of this series is about me trying to figure out what Egyptian food even is, because it's something I've never experienced before. Now I'm in the heart of the country. I'm trying really authentically pure Egyptian food. Can I put my finger on exactly what Egyptian food is yet? No, but I need to keep trying. I need to keep eating.
Just after filming Kosheri, the police stopped us and made our production van drive to the nearby police station. They caught us in the sinful act of filming bread on the sidewalk.
Right now, the van is at a police station. All the local people have been taken out of the van. They've gone through the shots on my phone, and we don't know what's gonna happen next. It's possible they'll try to delete the footage. Luckily, we've already just airdropped the footage to a decoy phone, so it doesn't matter, but hopefully it doesn't get to that anyways. But this is what it's like to shoot here. All we were doing is shooting with phones on the street at a bakery, and that was enough to have our whole vehicle have to be pulled into here to speak to the police and to justify our actions, even though we have a permit to shoot. Doesn't matter. So, not sure what's gonna happen. We're gonna find out pretty soon. So, we just got done with the police. We're at our next location now. Get this, they told us to delete our footage. Why? No reason. Do we have a permit? Yup. Do we break a law? No. As far as I can understand, it all depends on how the people at the top are feeling on that particular day. What they told us is that the footage of the bakery we shot wasn't beautiful, it wasn't pretty enough, it didn't meet their standard. They told us to delete it. Suddenly these guys are documentary filmmakers. I don't get it. So did we actually delete it? Absolutely not. While we were waiting, we airdropped all the footage to an extra phone. That's the phone I showed them, and that's the footage I deleted. They don't even know how the phones work. It's all the footage is in my delete bin right now. I could just restore it at any time. So that's fortunate, but literally every minute we're shooting in the city, we're looking over our shoulders, we're constantly paranoid, and I don't really like it. It's not that fun, to be honest. But we have a job to do. The mission must go on. I actually really like this next food we're doing, so I'm gonna get to it. Hawashi.
Oh my God!
When it comes to Egyptian street food, Hawashi is a big top contender. And when it comes to Hawashi, well, you must come here. The perfect place to film street food while being shielded from the view of the police. This place is called Hawashi Al Rafai. They're known for their unique recipes and a wide-ranging menu with tons of variations, like Hawashi with cheese or other various meats. Now, the question that must be answered, what the heck is a Hawashi?
This is one of my favorite foods I've tried so far. I'm sorry, I tried this one without you guys. Sometimes I eat on my own time. And it's one of my favorites. So here's how it starts. First of all, this is just like the Egyptian bread. My man here, he cuts the edges off so it can be opened up easily. Then over here, they're weighing out some minced lamb meat. That lamb meat is spiced, it's delicious, and it gets spread, kind of smeared by hand within this bread disc.
Hawashi is a typical Egyptian sandwich. What makes this place stand out are the secret spices they put into the meat. Once a batch of Hawashi is stuffed, they bring them to the grilling station.
Here, he puts it on this very hot griddle. The meat's gonna cook through, the bread's gonna get crispy, and all of it is gonna be absolutely delicious. I've had this before, but I've never had it with cheese. It's steaming up, there's spices, there's lamb, there's cheese, it smells incredible. Let me show you really quick. I love this. Oh yes, ooey gooey cheese on the inside. Oh, as he cuts it, you can see the cheese squirting out. That looks so good. Aside from this, we also have pickled vegetables and we have tahini here. Now, I've tried tahini a couple times today. I still don't quite know what it tastes like because I haven't tried it alone. Interesting. To me, it's similar to a hummus. It's a little bit different feeling in your mouth because it's not made with chickpeas, it's made with sesame seeds. But with the spice, the salt, the texture, it's a little hummusy. I'm gonna try some of these pickled vegetables right here. We got tomato, eggplant. I'm gonna grab some of the carrot. Wow. Okay, pickle overload. I think that is the palate cleanser, but I need to cleanse my palate from that with the Pepsi. I've noticed in this country the pickles are on another level. They're super salty, sour, and spicy too. It's kind of addictive though. It's such a powerful flavor. It punches you in the face like eating raw garlic. But then after a while, it goes away, it dissipates, and you want another hit. This is why we're here. Oh, beautiful cheese pull. We'll try it out. There's so many things to love. The texture is so crunchy. The bread by itself is amazing. The meat is beautifully seasoned. Almost a little bit like eating a seekh kebab with all the spices and flavors and just a very fine mince. Take a look at this. Here you can see when I peel the top layer off, the cheese is still sticky. Not too liquidy, not too solid. Give it a little bit of a dip. Is this what people do? I'm assuming it's there as a dip, like ranch. I don't know if I can say it's improving it. It is adding a different level, different dimension. It's like dipping something that's already very delicious and putting it into hummus. It doesn't need anything extra. It's beautiful just how it is. Just like your wife, girlfriend, whoever you're sleeping with. Keep telling them that. They love that stuff. I believe, if it's not too late, we've got one more spot to go. Let's do it. If the police don't stop us.
Rivers winding round words in my head. Shivering pines say that summer is dead.
Our first day of shooting in Cairo was quite a mixed bag. The police took our cameras. Our local Egyptian producer turned out to be completely incompetent, and even more police told us to delete our footage.
All the things I've
On
done.
the bright side, I got to hang out with some really cool, kind people.
Wash me in the water.
I ate some fantastic food,
It's my favorite thing we've tried today. I love it.
and I get to visit one of the 7 man-made wonders of the world.
We are right outside the pyramids right now. We're gonna ride the camels because that's what you do when you come here. I've been told the first thing I should do is find a camel that speaks to me. This one just farted. It has gas. That's how I know it's my spirit animal. All right, this is a camel for me.
Can't trust a man 'cause he just let you down.
This series and my experience in Egypt, they're both complicated.
Ground.
I have nothing against the people of Egypt. I just think in a country that makes 12% of its GDP from tourism, the police, the authorities, and those who run this place might want to stop treating their tourists like spies and criminals. Next time, on day 2, against my better judgment, I'll be going for another round in Cairo. Let's hope it goes better than today.
Best Ever Food Review Show is a small team of independent creators, and everything we do here works because of you guys. Click the link in our description to join our Patreon and receive exclusive benefits. A peace.
Camel tips 101. Right now we're riding through the Sahara Desert. Actually, we're being pulled, so step 1 is have someone who just pulls your camel. Step 2, they connect them together. See, there's one behind me right now. Being behind, it's a rookie move. Some of them, like mine, have terrible gas. So whoever's behind me. Are you all right, Kai?
I'm all right.
Cool. This place is so small, it barely fits the giant oven that's inside. They come here, they scoop up some bread, they eat, and they enjoy. Assalamu alaikum. It's not working. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. It's a beautiful shop you have here. Oh, that was it. That was our moment, and I blew it. We have arrived at the pyramids. Now, just need to get off. This thing was too heavy. I ate too much hummus. Come on. No, it's so ornery. Oh, what the fuck? All right. Whew, good. I think I'll just jump up. Oh, the blood's rushing back to my crotch area. And suddenly I'm not in Cairo because we could not shoot the conclusion in Cairo because it was not safe to do so. I hope you enjoyed this first video in Egypt. It is one of the toughest series we've ever made, so hopefully you're getting something out of it. But I gotta say, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. All right. I'm gonna walk the Sahara Desert until I die.